Sup, you chuck fucks, it's your boy Dark Aku here with What If Aku taking over Issei's Body, part 3. So yeah, this is part 3. Is it part 3? Wait. So mostly is part 3 of this What If, and I know it has been 3 weeks since the last time, but let me just begin into this What If, so I don't need to do a recap. So yeah, other than that, let me begin in yet. Also, I am going to do part 3 of What If Issei was a descendant of Kokushibo. Don't worry, I got that also. I'm going to do that one also. But not the point. So let me begin into this What If. We go into mostly Akane, Akane, who's the Red Dragon Empress, right now crying and right now kind of moping, crying for Issei to come back and not really wanting to have Akumu is, the nightmare version of Issei. There is nightmare version humans in this one, but yeah. If you have never read a Hardcore Limmerling Warrior, you're going to be kind of confused, but yeah. But I'll explain that. Explain the nightmare versions of people later, much more in detail, but not much. If you really have never read Hardcore Limmerling Warrior, that's where I kind of take the idea from, but not the point. Other than that, let me begin to Twitter. Sorry if I'm rambling on. So, mostly we go into, Issei, who is, not Issei. We go into a POV of, an Issei. We go into mostly his POV. He's still very sad and very depressed. He hasn't actually fixed his heart entirely perfect. It's right now into half of a quarter there. It's barely been fixed fully. He's been trying to, fix it. With mostly his emotion happiness, it's been trying to help him out. With also his conscience trying to help him out. But mostly he can barely fix his heart. But yeah. This is where, he's right now kind of floating. He's wondering if he's ever going to fix it. Wondering if mostly Akumu kind of destroyed everything. Wondering if the whole world is burning in hell. Wondering a lot of things. Now, his emotions are all kind of mix and match. So, of course, he doesn't really have a specific one he's feeling. He's feeling sad, happy, angry. But yeah, but of course, mostly angry at the fact that he was so weak, and the fact that mostly his nightmare version had to take over his body. He's feeling so sad from the fact that maybe everyone is dead and most of the nightmare version went crazy. He's feeling happy that mostly Rias and her freaking friends are dead. Yes, he feels happy for that, for some reason. Probably from the fact that he's truly fucking traumatized and broken. He also feels happy if mostly Diedrich actually left his body. If that happened, then he'd be happy. Because that dragon didn't help him for shit for emotions. Then again, it's only a fighting dragon, so he can't fully blame the dragon itself. He just sighs and just tries to fix his heart still. It takes a long process, but yeah. But we go into mostly a time skip. A time skip of mostly Akumu kind of getting to his job. Now, when Akumu is getting towards the place, he knocks at a door, mostly specifically to open it, which mostly someone open it and says, Akumu-san, you are here now. This is why Akumu says, yes, I am here. Now, what are the schedules and, what are the resources that we have? This is where the person starts explaining all the resources, every single one of them, kind of saying, so the resources that we have are some of the drugs like this and that are still in stock. We still haven't got rid of them. From the last drug dealers that were on this base. So mostly that's the thing. We also got Phoenix tiers with mostly trading with some resources from the Phoenixes. This where mostly using knowledge or from the kind of black market of the Phoenixes. I see. Is there anything else? We also got magical scrolls, magical books, a lot of stuff that we don't actually fully understand. We got them from the wizards, with the wizards asking for mostly powerful drugs that allow them to kind of either get high or just be able to, be able to kind of boost their magic. Which we did create something like that. And we did trade it from them. Okay, that's good. What do you mean about powerful stuff? We don't entirely know what they are. They're like these books that don't really choose anyone. It's very hard. We already tried choosing who the hell we're gonna get it, because we gave it to the person who was making these drugs, they really didn't understand fully what the hell they did. One of them did open, one of the books, the 7 books, did open to the magic user entirely, since he is entirely a mage, but he was mostly a dropout mage because there was no grimoire, I think so. I think that's how you say grimoire, that allows him to be able to control his magic, and his magic is basically just kind of what's it called? Gas manipulation. There was no magic for that, but one of the grimoires open to allow him to be chosen or something like that. We have 6 in total, and we have no clue how to actually use them. The gas resource also still confused, but yeah. But of course, there's that problem. We also have this scrolls that we are confused with that also. I think they're just full of martial arts and different types of fighting style. I think they're from China. I see. So what else next? We have magical weapons. These weapons are supposed to be stronger than normal human-made weapons. But yeah, mostly mankind-made weapons. Mostly these weapons are made with somewhat magic, at the same time some kind of other species. I see. Is there anything else? Yes, we also got a god weapon. I don't know why, but one of those mages had a god weapon and just drop it off upon us. What? Take me to the god weapon. Yes, sir. This is where, mostly mostly Akumu, and of course the person walks towards mostly the god weapon. The god weapon, it basically just looks like this. So pretty much it looks like this, and it's called a spear raw. This is where, mostly Issei sweats up and says, this is from the gods of Egyptian, isn't it? Yes, we figure out which god uses it, well, not which god, but we know it's from one of the gods of Egyptian. Well, yeah, Egyptian. Are you fucking serious? This is where Akumu just sighs and just like glares at the god weapon, because it actually pisses him off a little bit. It annoys him a lot, because pretty much just Nightmares just hates every other species, especially gods entirely. Nightmare especially hates gods, because gods are basically arrogant assholes that just think they're basically gods, which are not in their eyes, but yeah. This is where, Issei says, I see. If you find the fucking god that's from, I'm gonna use it to stab the motherfucker. Sir, I really think that's a very good idea. No, but who cares? What's next? Yes, sir. We also got mythical animals. Mythical animals. Who the fuck smuggled in mythical animals? Show me the mythical animals. We got 2 unicorns. They're quite supposedly rare. This were like 2 white horses with like these horns and rainbowish hair. And this where you say, this is, you can't be fucking kidding me. You really, never mind. What is next? This white kind of blue flame tiger. Okay, what is next? The last one should be this kind of, where is it? The last one is a shadow phoenix. A shadow what? Shadow phoenix, sir. This is where, they go to the place, and it looks like this. It does burn the ground, but at the same time, it's right now has a shadow effect with it. This is where, Issei looks, not Issei, mostly Aku looks at this and says, that looks fucking dope. This is where Aku kind of goes up to the Shadow Phoenix. The Shadow Phoenix screeches at him, but this is where, mostly Aku kind of puts his hand out. Right now, it's seeing if the Shadow Phoenix will attack him. This is where Shadow Phoenix actually noticed the power of what Aku is releasing, this dark kind of like power. And this is where, the Shadow Phoenix decides to kind of right now bow down and let mostly Aku pat him in the head. This is where Aku is not going to burn his hand, but this is where, mostly Aku says, there. Will you become my, would you serve me, my Shadow Phoenix? This is where, the Shadow Phoenix nodded, and this is where, it transformed into actually a kind of shadowish and flamish kind of color, and it just went into mostly Aku. Mostly it became his left arm, but yeah. Aku says, it's interesting. Very interesting. This is where, his left arm right now explode with kind of these shadowy flames, and this is where, he says, cool. Now I have actually a new technique if anyone dares to fight me. And I'm guessing I'm immortal. Hey, you, stab me. Sir, are you sure? Just do it. Yes, sir. This is where he pulls out a knife and stabs Issei, or mostly Issei's kind of body. And this is where Aku kind of noticed it right now regenerate really fast. Shadow Phoenix Flame Heal. This is where, well, we'll see. Aku heard this and says, where did that? I am in your mind, my lord. This is where, well, we'll see. Aku says, yes, sorry. I'm being an idiot. I'm being too goofy about these powers. Hello there, Shadow Phoenix. What is your name entirely? My name is Kage. Kage, you say? Interesting. Well, Kage, it's nice to have you in my kind of, well, how should I say, body. Or, not body, arsenal. I think that'd be better. That's where, well, Issei, well, most not Issei. In Issei's body, there is a tattoo of a phoenix now, but it's kind of a black kind of color. But yeah, it's not like orange or red or whatever. That mostly, well, if there was a normal, regular phoenix, it would have turned into that color. Or if it was blue. But this one's shadow, a shadow phoenix. This is where, well, Aku says, let me introduce you to myself. My name is Aku Issei. And you can just realize that I am the nightmare version of, well, the previous owner. The previous owner is named Issei Hyodo. He is right now in his conscious world with the conscious, his heart, who is right now in shattered to a million pieces, and his happiness, which is not much there, but he's right now trying to repair his heart. Entirely, I took over his body because it was kind of easy. At the same time, I'm just helping him out. Recreate the different body and at the same time, make sure he doesn't trust that many people at the same time. This is where, well, the Phoenix nodded and says, I see. Well, then I'll help you. This is where, well, Aku says, good to know. This is where, well, we'll see. Aku then goes back into the outside and says, so, is there anything else that I need to know? Just a lot of paperwork that's on your desk. God damn it. Okay. What about the other girls? Or not other girls. What about any other new members? That's where, the person say, there's 2 new members in here, but they are right now being suspected to probably be cops. Why is that? They act a little weird. They don't act like fully kind of people that work in the underworld. Or mostly the underground, the whole kind of black market and other shit. I see. I'll deal with them later then. They're right now where? There should be right now kind of at the training room. Okay. Well, I'll be seeing them later. What are they exactly? Female. Okay, I'll go see what they want. If they are kind of, well, a part of the cops, then I'll get rid of them. But if they're not, then they're just idiots. I'll figure out what to do next. Yes, my lord. This is where, well, Akumu started walking away. Now, of course, a lot of people call him Lord because, well, he is entirely the kind of, well, in the black market, a lot of people know him as the nightmare user of the true of King of Darkness, because he is truly a dark being as hell. If someone tries to rip him off, yeah, that man is long gone. His head would be full of nothing but nightmares, and he'd be scared shitless. But when people really piss him off, he goes into a dark version that really just makes sure everyone shit themselves. A very nightmarish kind of version soldier with black armor and red eyes, which scares a lot of people. But yeah, other than that, we go into mostly Issei getting to his fucking desk. That's a lot of paperwork. Dark clones, or mostly he says shadow dark clones. Just where, well, he summons out these clones that basically are going to be the ones doing the paperwork while he sits down and kind of relaxes for a second, thinking his head. But yeah. This is where, well, Akumu did manage to finish all his paperwork after a while, and this is where, well, he kind of just says, done. Now, on to those, like, 2 new people in this goddamn freaking shit. So very painful and annoying. Whatever. This is where, well, mostly Akumu goes to go check on who exactly it is. And this is where, well, when he kind of shows up to the training ground, it seems that they're mostly both training. This is how one of them looks like. One has a lightish blue color with kind of like these weird kind of things on her head, mostly hair, with mostly yellowish eyes. And this is where, well, she's not really wearing this outfit. Well, she is, but this is where she's not wearing the hat. This is where, well, no, she is wearing the hat. This is where, well, she's kind of seems to be kind of tired after a workout, but yeah. The other one looks like this, and this is where, well, she also seems to be quite tired after a workout, but yeah. But this is where, well, they kind of hear the door kind of close, mostly like opening then close, to see, well, both of them looks at a guy with kind of like blackish hair, reddish eyes. One of them is red, the other one is kind of like covered by his longish blackish hair. He has a grayish kind of coat on, with mostly like a black hood on it, but not the point. This is where he has a kind of a blackish scarf on. This is where, well, he has kind of dark gray pants, and it's just walking towards him. This is where both of them gets on guard and says, "Who are you?" That's where, well, the person says, "Who do you think who I am?" You know what? You can just guess. I'd actually like to see you two actually guess, wondering who I am. This is where, well, they both kind of look strangely and kind of look at each other and look back at him and then says, "You're, uh, you're, you're the, second in command?" That's where, well, mostly Akumu just wanted to smash his fucking face into his hand. Clearly, these two are not informed that much. And yes, he doesn't really care if he's found out by the cops too much, but not much. He just says, "Good try, but I am actually the leader of this organization. So what exactly do you two want? Because I don't really, how should I say, I protect the weak to give them a place to home or whatever. But entirely, you two look quite physically strong at the same time. You kind of like smell, well, not smell, when I say smell, you two kind of look like cops. Are you two cops?" This is where, well, they both look at each other and then just shake their heads. This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of, or mostly Akumu, just looks at them and just kind of sees that there's really nowhere, no wire or nothing. And trying to center magic is just like they really don't have anything on them. Akumu says, "I see. Well, I should then leave you back to training." This is where one of them says, "Hey, what's your name then?" Leader-san." "Hmm? Oh, Akumo. Akumo Hyodo." "Akumo Hyodo?" This is where, well, they wind their eyes at the last name, Hyodo. "Wait, don't you go to our school? Mostly our, what's it called, high school? Kuwo?" This is where, well, Akumo takes a closer look, and mostly he noticed the blue hair is actually a part of what's it called, the Candle Club, and should have realized this sooner. This is where Akumo says, "No, I'm not a part of your school. I don't understand what you're talking about." This is where, well, her name is, well, if I can try to remember, her name is Zula or something like that. And this is where, well, she says, "Don't lie to me. I know who you are." Well, not exactly, but I didn't know Issei Hyodo was a boss, a villain boss. "I'm not Issei Hyodo. My name is Akumo Hyodo." "I don't understand who the hell you're actually talking about. He's probably one of my distant cousins, but I don't know much." This is where, well, Azula says, "No, don't lie to me." Azula is the darker blue haired girl, while the other one is named, well, actually I'm going to change her design. The other one is look like this, while her name is Junko, but yeah. This is where she actually does go to the same school as, well, mostly a Kendo Club member, but she's actually one of the quiet ones. This is where, well, Junko actually did remember Akumo. She was actually there towards, well, seeing Akumo kind of fighting against the other girls at the, well, fighting club this morning, but she kind of wasn't fully there. She just remembered seeing a picture and the message, while mostly, what's it called, Azula is right now trying to question Issei, or mostly Akumo. This is where, well, mostly Azula sighs, and this is where she then goes up to mostly Akumo. Before trying to grab him, this is where her hand was grabbed in an instant by Akumo. Akumo says, "What are you doing there?" "I want to check something." This is where, well, what is that? "I want to check your body." "What?" This is where Akumo looks confused at Azula. Azula says, "If you're not Issei Hyodo, then I really gotta see your body. I gotta make sure that you're not, well, Issei. If you are, then I'm gonna freaking tell everyone." This is where, well, Issei just scoffs, and just mostly Akumo just scoffs and just push her away, saying, "First of all, don't touch the leader's body. That's absolute fucking weird. And also, if you really want to be in this organization, I suggest you don't fucking just be weird and go touching people." This is where, well, Azula scoffs and says, "You just don't want me to touch you so I won't be able to expose you, Issei. I remember how your body feels like. It's kind of muscular a little bit, and mostly your physique is similar to that of Issei. I'm going to say you're Issei, no matter what." This is where, right now, Akumo just turns around and looks at mostly Azula and says, "You can say whatever. It doesn't matter. Who's going to really believe you of anything? Random bullcrap." This is where, well, Azula says, so you are Issei, but why are you different? Damn it, you won't give up with this whole thing. Fine, I'll tell you the truth. I am Akumu. I am actually considered to be the nightmare version of Issei. Do not tell this to anyone else. I do not want more fucking rumors going around. But I am the nightmare version. I took over Issei's body a while ago. Issei is right now in his conscious world with his heart and his happiness. Not entirely. His heart is right now, I think, quarter for done or probably not even finished at all. And mostly his happiness are right now in broken fragments, also kind of still helping him out. He is right now mostly physically, no, not physically, emotionally cannot be in the outside world, or he will go into a state of berserkness and murderousness. So that's why I took over his body and helping him out with bullcrap like that. This is where, well, mostly Azula kind of nodded and says, I see. It wasn't that hard to say that, was it? That's where Issei, well, mostly not Issei, mostly Aku kind of just scoffs and says, God, you're annoying. Oh, don't be mean to me. But still, if Issei is hurt and broken, who did this to him? This is where, well, mostly Akumu turns around just to see Azula right now extremely pissed. Her aura right now exploded around her body. This is where Junko right now kind of just shifts away from mostly, what's it called? Azula, and Azula's right now aura is right now this very murderous dark kind of aura. Dark blue. This is where, oh, Akumu says, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you really going to go after the people that hurt him? I thought you didn't care. I thought most of the Kendall girls did not care about Issei and his. Azula says, no. Let me say this right now, fast. I care about him a lot. I truly care about him a lot. I remember in middle school he tried to save me from a group of bullies, which he managed to knock out a couple, and of course the last one was trying to kill him, but I saved him. It doesn't really matter. I still see him as my shining knight in armor. I like him a lot, and if anyone hurts him, I'll kill them. This is where, well, we'll see. Azula says, also, Junko actually likes him a lot also. Junko kind of says, Azula, don't tell them about that. This is where, well, we'll see. Akumu was kind of shocked to hear about this. He remembers something like that in mostly Issei's memories, before Issei became a truly pervert. This is where, well, he says, I see. Well, I guess you will be a good addition for his harem then. What do you mean harem? I'm creating a harem so mostly they can help him in his heart so he won't become evil. This is what, well, we'll see. Azula says, fine, I'll help him. But I really want to see him again. So is there any way you can talk to him? Entirely no, the conscious world is right now locked down. He's right now fully just in depth in there. I have no clue what he's doing. And right now, I can't really figure out what he's doing. Since I am the nightmare version cannot go into the, well, conscious world. I can go into mostly the mindscape, but I cannot go into the conscious world. The conscious world, or mostly the conscious of someone's, I cannot really go into that. It's like a built-in system from God, which, fuck you, God, by the way, but not the point. Azula kind of chuckles and says, I see. Azula does show out her kind of like fox or someone like mostly wolf features, but yeah. She does have ears and a tail, and this is where, well, she is considered to be a wolf, not a fox, and this is where, well, she also has a very powerful mostly summoning creature, which is a Leviathan, and this is where, well, she says, if anyone hurts what I love, I'm going to hurt them really fucking bad. This is where, well, mostly Aku kind of just nodded slowly, just workshopping at how mostly Azula is so overprotective of, well, Issei. This is where, well, mostly Aku just sighs and says, okay, Jesus Christ, I can hear you. You don't need to freaking try to threaten me. I know, I'm sorry. Well, Junko's also here, quite upset with him. Quite also yandere. So, yeah, I see. Great, I have two yanderes. Well, yeah. And I also gotta look at the other girls that they want to do mostly my Issei. Wait, why do you consider him to be your Issei? Cause he is. Azula said we're murderers. Look at mostly Akumu. Akumu didn't even flinch or didn't even phase or did not care about her look. She says, he's mine and only mine. No one else. My Issei. Do not worry, Issei. When we actually meet again, I'm gonna protect you. No bitch. No slut, and no one's going to hurt your emotions. I feel it's like it's that red-haired bitch's fault. Then again, I seen her dating some guys. If it is that fucking slut, I'm gonna murder her. Akumu says, wait. Before you go murder her and destroy her fucking life. Actually, I have no other reason to just say that I want to fucking murder her first. This is where, well, let's say let's make a little bet when we murder her. I get the first hit because I'm a girl. What the? Nah, fuck off with that bullcrap. This is what Akumu said. Huh? I wanna. This is where, well, Akumu says, too bad. No. This is where, well, mostly they're both arguing and Junko says, I get the first hit, sure. This is where both of them act and say, sure. And this is where, well, Junko says, yes. This is where, well, mostly both of them glares at mostly Junko and Junko say, what? I said it. This is where, well, mostly they kind of glare at her. She's fine, whatever. This is where, well, Azula says, I want the second hit. Fucking hell. I guess I get to fucking hit her a third. God damn bullcrap. This is where, well, mostly they are kind of giggling when mostly both Junko and even Azula giggling, thinking what they're going to do towards Rias. And of course, where, well, Issei just switch ups, or mostly Akumu just switch ups and just walks away. But yeah, we go into mostly Akumu kind of getting to outside. He's already finished with his paperwork and other things. He just goes to the training room to start training a bit in martial arts, in the same time a bit of mostly how to use the Shadow Phoenix. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly he says, Kai, how do I use you fully? Kai kind of says, well, when kind of controlling shadows, I can control the shadows themselves at the same time allow me to kind of burn someone's shadow. So if someone's shadow is right now invisible towards me, I get to burn them alive? Yes, if you touch the shadow, if you touch their shadow, you can actually burn their shadow because their shadow is connected to them, and they start slowly burning invisibly. They wouldn't even know what exactly is burning them entirely, except they have to somehow put out the shadow flames for their own shadow. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly Issei nodded and says, I see. Well, that's interesting. This is where, well, the Shadow Phoenix wanted to question something out. So, Akumu-san, how can I say this? Well, kind of sounding a little bit difficult to say this. Why aren't you an actual nightmare? What do you mean, an actual nightmare? This is where, well, the Shadow Phoenix says, well, I have kind of lived for a long time, not entirely a long time, but ever since I was born with my parents, or mostly my mother, who was a phoenix, awesome. But I was kind of banished because I was different from the others. I didn't even know what exactly I was until I figured I was a Shadow Phoenix. Why aren't you a true nightmare? What do you mean, true nightmare? Well, how would I say this? Nightmares themselves, if I can remember the stories in what I heard about when I was in the Dark Forest is where mostly all the creatures are mostly just full of darkness power, darkness energy, or some kind of like darkness element within them gets sent there. That's where I found myself out. But when I was hearing about the stories from a good friend of mine named the Wendigo, mostly, yes, Wendigos are a thing. I see. Well, when I was hearing the story from a long time Wendigo who actually lived a long time, he talked about the nightmares, and the nightmares themselves have white hair, palish white skin, with, I mean, you do count as one, but white, like their hair fully turned white when they taken over someone's body, and they have yellow eyes. You, on the other hand, have black hair, red eyes, palish skin, but don't look fully like a nightmare. That's what Akumu says. That's something I don't know. I was born with Issei. I have no clue. I have no origin or have any clue of how exactly a nightmare is supposed to act. All I know is the nightmare is supposed to attack and, well, rob the body of their user. But I never did that. And we're not really planning to do it at all. Because Issei is pretty much just an idiot, and I probably thought he was going to die later or sooner, whatever. But, yeah. I never planned to ever take over his body entirely. I was just gonna let him live out his life until mostly the dragon bitch that's inside this body decided not to help anything. And so I had to step in. Entirely, I'm taking over his body, just doing stuff that I feel like is best for the user himself. I don't really know how a true nightmare is supposed to look like. If that's how a nightmare is supposed to look like, then I don't know what I am exactly. But my name is Akumu, and it truly just means nightmare. And I can literally control other people's kind of mostly just thoughts. And put some nightmare thoughts into their heads, mostly bring out their worst and fear nightmares. So I can do something like that. That's where, well, the Shadow Phoenix says, I never heard of any other nightmare doing something similar to that. Able to harm others in their nightmares, in their dreams, in their thoughts. You are an interesting nightmare, you know that? I think you're one of the rarest kinds. I don't really know. I really have no clue on how nightmares are really supposed to be kind of looked upon. I never read upon on all that. All I heard was mostly nightmares are supposed to be ruthless, careless, and don't care about anyone. They really are just the negative emotions of the user. Or, I know that nightmares did live a long time ago, and I really don't know if I am a nightmare or not. I can control somewhat darkness. I can control somewhat shadows. Not just from you. I always could control shadows and darkness, but I have no clue what I am truly am. I can go into a form called Nightmare Berserk State. A form that allows me to kind of go into somewhat a semi-berserk state. Entirely, I can control the form just because, yeah. I think the name of it should be called something else because it's not a full berserk state. This is where, well, we'll see. Kai kind of nodded. I see. Can I see the memories of the user himself? Maybe there's some kind of information that we miss or you miss or something. I will show you them, but please do not laugh at the stupidity that this guy has done. Sure. This is where, well, right now, Akumo kind of allows Kai to see the memories. Right now, kind of, there's like a TV inside the kind of mindscape, but yeah. We go into a red-haired girl kind of getting out of her room, which mostly it's inside the mindscape, and she just sees a phoenix right now kind of sitting down. And this is where, well, mostly the phoenix is standing up, because, yeah, you get the point, just sitting and watching this TV of mostly how Issei was born, Issei's thoughts were, and other things. He's right now trying to look if anything is making Akumo different than a normal nightmare. This is where, well, he's looking until this is where he almost gets attacked by a green burst of flames. He managed to block with his shadow flames, and this is where, well, he then looks towards, well, mostly who exactly attacked him. It's none other than the Red Dragon Empress. This is where Akane says, who exactly are you? This is where Kaigo kind of just says, the name is Kaigo. I am a Shadow Phoenix, and I am just been merged a while ago. You must be the Red Dragon Empress. Yeah? Why are you here? I am here to just look at mostly the memories of Issei here. I've been helping Aku in the reason why he doesn't look like a full nightmare. What the hell are you talking about, that bastard? If you're angry, I can also see the memories that mostly you done to mostly, how should I say, the original. That's where, well, Akane kind of falls down and just says, stop reminding me about it. I know what I did is so fucked up on so many levels. I listened to that red hair bitch. You do realize you also have red hair. This is where, well, Akane says, shut up. My red hair isn't crimson like that damn slut. This is where, well, mostly Kaiger kind of just say, okay. Well, if you don't mind me, I'm just going to be watching the videos here. Akane says, whatever. Damn it. Also, don't go to the conscious world because I feel like that's what you're going to try to do. Screw you. I want to go look at him. I want to fix his heart. This is where, well, mostly Kaigo kind of says, fix his heart. You shattered it a while ago by helping that red hair. You're a dragon. I don't know why you decide to listen to a devil. I thought dragons would be smarter than listening to a devil. Shut the hell up already. I'm just saying. I'm really telling the truth. This is where, well, right now, how should I say, we go into mostly, Akane says, whatever, I'm going then. This is where she goes to the conscious world, and of course when she tries to touch it, she gets crackling with golden lightning, and this is where she hurt herself and says, damn it, Issei, please, hear me out. This is where, well, right now, something actually appears, and it looks like to be a figure. similar to that of Issei, but it's actually made out of kind of goldenish lightning. And this is where, well, the goldenish lightning user kind of says, I am the conscious. Well, a built-in system of the conscious. You cannot come inside, Dragon Empress of Domination. You shall stay back, or security measures will have to put you in place. This is where, well, mostly Akane says, get out of my way. I need to talk to him. I need to. This is where before she can even go any further, this is where, well, a black armor kind of like arm actually reaches for her neck, and this is where, well, choking her out. This is where she looks down, as none of the Aku's in his like dark, mostly nightmare armor version. This is where, well, he says, what the fuck are you doing here? How many times have I told you to stay out of his way? This is where, well, Aku just threw her back into where, well, mostly her room, just crashing into her room and shutting her up. This is where Kaigu says, told you. This is where Aku says, I'm so sorry, they're conscious. Conscious says, no, it is fine. We did build the system just in case the Red Dragon Empress did go after mostly the original. Aku says, how is the original doing? The original is somewhat steadily becoming stable again. Luckily with the happiness, his love is kind of a little bit growing back. It's actually coming back into pieces. Are you doing something similar to this? In the outside? This is where Akumu says, I am getting multiple girls that mostly likes Issei, or kinda likes Issei, or decently likes Issei, but yeah, pretty much they love him in their true own way. Either it's because of Issei protecting them one way or another, or the fact that he just looks cute. But yeah, I guess that's what mostly the love is actually going through my body, mostly going through Issei's body and kind of trying to fix his heart. This is where, well, the conscious word says, I see. Well, I should be going then. The conscious kind of golden lightning figure right now disappeared back into the conscious. It's like a dome, and this is where, well, Aku says, got it. This is where, well, he's walking away. He then appears right in front of Akane, and Akane just grabbing onto a plushie that looks just like Issei, and she's crying, saying, why won't you just let me see him? And this is where Aku says, do you not understand what you were going to do? You were going to break him even further. If he would have saw you, he would have been scared. Very, very scared. To the point that he might have actually went into Juggernaut Drive in the Mindscape. If that happens, he would have died. While I would have been able to take over his body, control his body fully. Like, literally, permanently. Do you want something like that, you idiot? This is where, well, Akane just sits down quietly and just cries. Right now, holding the plushie of Issei. This is where he scoffs and says, whatever, you're an idiot. You won't understand anything. This is where, well, Akane says, I'm not an idiot. I understand. I see. Fine, I'll stay here. Good. Also, do not bother the Shadow Phoenix. The Shadow Phoenix is just helping me out with some stuff. This is where, well, Akane says, whatever, just whatever. I just want him back. This is where she's crying and just crying more. This is where, oh, we go into Issei getting out of his head, and this is where he's actually trying to go home now. That was such a stupid way to just pause in the middle of the street because, well, it looks stupid. Akane, well, not Akane, but mostly Aku is about to walk away. Until before he can walk away, he goes to the park, and this is where, well, he looks all around. Of course, he can remember the time. What the hell? What the hell was that? Okay, sorry about that. I saw a fly that kind of looked like a spider to me because I had my eyes kind of closed. So, of course, mostly I was like, what the hell is that? And yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, I don't even know where that fucker went. That's alright. Well, right now we go into mostly, well, Akumu kind of just getting towards the park, and this is where he remembers that little memory of when Rainer kind of killed the original. This is where, well, he kind of hates her entirely, but whatever. You can't really truly kill her because she's actually did fall in love with Issei. It's just he had it to be ordered. This is where, well, Akumu was about to keep walking away until lightning almost smashed upon him. This is where he managed to dodge very easily, and this is where, well, when he looks up, he sees none other than Akuno. This is where, well, someone was about to attack him from behind, like a sword, until he managed to dodge. Also, he managed to just jump away. This is where, well, Mostly the person that attacked him with the girl with orangey hair. Her name is Ichigo. Ichigo Kurosaki, but yeah. Or Ichigo. Or, yeah, Ichigo is basically just a kind of, well, just non-sexual name. It's just either mean boy or girl. Doesn't matter. This is where, well, mostly someone else tried to attack him. This is where, well, he managed to dodge. And this is where, well, mostly the other person that tried to attack him was trying to use 2 knives. And this is where, well, mostly Akumu managed to dodge anyway. Well, not 2 knives. Mostly someone else tried to attack him. But she seems to have, like, this sword that's right now made out of these, like, cherry blossom tree. And this is where, well, he's just like, okay, this is getting more annoying. This is where, well, so mostly, the other person just tries to attack him. So the person had kind of pinkish hair. Another person tried to attack him with a sword of mostly he felt holy, but he managed to grab it and just toss her away, smashing her into another person that actually tried to kind of jump towards mostly Akumu. But this is where, well, a punch was about to hit him until he blocked it with his fist or mostly his arm and felt like it shattered. This is where, well, he won his eyes and got pushed back into a tree. You see, oh, that hurts like hell. This is where he gets up. This is where, well, he's right now very pissed and angry. His eyes are right now glowing such reddish colors. This is where, well, he says, okay, who's the motherfuckers who are actually trying to attack me? He noticed Akuno, what's it called? He noticed Akuno, Lincoln, Hyoto, what's it called? Moriyama and Catherine, and also what's it called? Well, the last one being, well, the last one being Ichigo. This where, well, mostly Akumu said, okay, I knew they were going to do something stupid, but to attack me in blind fucking in public, this is crazy. These psycho bitches are right now pissing me off. This is where, well, right now Akumu's arm heals fast, and this is where, thanks to the fact that he has the Shadow Phoenix, this is where, well, he kind of just cracked his neck and said, okay, what the fuck is wrong with all 4, or not 4, 5 of you? That's where Akumu says, are you really Issei or not? This where, well, Akumu kind of says, no, I'm not. Stop calling me Issei. I am not Issei. I am Akumu Hyoto. This where, well, mostly Lincoln kind of says, that's complete bullshit. I seen Issei before, and I have never heard of you in our family. Who the hell are you exactly? This is where, oh, mostly Akumu's getting trigger off with these people. Just right now, I'm extremely pissed. So this is where, well, Akumu says, I don't really need to tell you anything, who I am or where I'm not. I'm going to murder all of you for the fact that you guys attacked me. This is where, well, Akumu rushes at them with blinding speed, summoning out a blackish sword right now out of thin air. This is where, well, the blackish sword kind of looks like this. Mostly it's called a Night Watcher, and this is what it kind of looks like, but yeah. Also, he was about to summon it out. It kind of looks like this, kind of, for a brief second, but this where it kind of became this one, and it just called the Night Watcher. He summons it out just right now to block mostly a strike, or mostly swing strike towards what's it called, Lincoln, but Lincoln managed to get almost just saved by mostly Ichigo. Ichigo says, no you don't. This is where she said with just an angry tone of voice, but yeah. This is where, well, we go into mostly both Ichigo and even, well, Akumu right now clashing with each other. This is where, well, right now we go into Ichigo's head saying, let me switch. Don't worry, I'll defeat this person, she said with a psychotic grin. This is where, well, right now Ichigo says, shut up, you ready, you damn hollow. This is where, well, mostly we go into, well, Ichigo getting kicked in the stomach, launched away. While mostly he then blocks another strike from mostly Moriyama this time. Moriyama's sword, her sword is basically called Sword of Justice. And this is where, well, it got blocked instantly. This is where, well, Akumu says, you're annoying. Get out of my way. He slashes at her, and this is where she falls down to the ground. She coughs up a bit of blood. This is where, well, we go into kind of Catherine right now trying to slash at mostly Akumu, which Akumu managed to block with his knee, and this is where he decides to kick her right in the face, right now launching her away. But yeah, this is where, well, Akumu says, goddamn annoying. This is where, well, he had to dodge a punch from mostly Lincoln, but this is where he managed to grab the punch and punch her right in the face. But yeah, mostly grab her wrist and punch her right in the face, right now pushing her away. Akumu used this mostly Holy Lightning to try to strike down on mostly Akumu, which Akumu gets hit, but of course it doesn't affect him because he's really not a devil. Luckily, he got rid of the double pieces, but yeah. He doesn't work well. He kind of just looks at Akumu with such an annoyed look of, "You really fucked up, bitch. I'm gonna fucking kill you." But yeah, this is where Akumu disappears right now in a blink of, well, mostly a blink of just an eye, and this is where he appears right in front of Akumu right now, axe kicking her down. She smashed down to the ground, really hurt and bruised. This is where, well, she can't believe that mostly Akumu was quite stronger than them. This is where, well, he felt like this weird energy, was actually approaching him in blinding speed. He blocks in an instant using his sword, but this is where, well, the attack managed to be blocked, and of course the person is none other than what they call Ichigo. This is where, well, she's in a kind of hollow mask state. This is where, well, she says, "Hello there." This is where, well, cutie. This is where, well, mostly Aku says, "Who the hell are you?" This is where, well, mostly the person saying, "You don't need to know who exactly I am. You just gotta die for me." Yeah, that ain't happening. This is where, well, mostly they keep clashing and blocking each other's attacks. "Wow, you're quite interesting, but I wonder if you can dodge this." She throws her blade straight towards mostly Akumu. Akumu did put chains on his blade and just throws it also. Both of their attacks kind of clash in the middle. This is where, well, mostly Shiroi kind of says, "Impossible. How?" This is where, well, mostly Akumu says, "Don't need to tell you how. I just noticed that you were going to do something crazy like that." This is where he grabs a blade, even if it's kind of cutting him, and this is where he was about to stab upon her. "First of all, who exactly are you? Are you another nightmare?" "Nightmare? Oh, so that's what you are. I can't believe I was actually going to lose to a complete nightmare." "I see. Not gonna lie. So that's what you are. So the original must be in a conscious war, isn't it? You basically fully took control of his body." This is where, well, mostly the hollow version of mostly Ichigo's kind of is right now talking to Akumu. Akumu says, "I don't need to tell you shit. Shut the fuck up, damn nightmare." This is where, well, right now, mostly Shiro, who actually is, well, mostly Ichigo's kind of hollow side, says, "Aw, I'm not the nightmare. I'm a hollow." "Well, you can say I'm a hollow. What is a hollow?" "Oh, you don't need to know what that is entirely." "But I really, really want to know what your true form looks like. If this is how you truly look like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a little bit turned on." This is where she kind of says, with such a cheeky kind of grin, and this is where, well, mostly Akumu just scoffs and says, "Whatever, you crazy son of a bitch." This is where he then cracks the mask, and this is where, well, the mask disappears. Ichigo actually appears, mostly she appears, realizing her shirt is grabbed by mostly Akumu, and this is where she was about to grab her sword out of his, what's it called? Mostly, or not her sword out of, what's it called, his grasp, but this is where, well, he punched the shit out of her, knocking her out. Damn annoying bitch. This is where, well, he was about to walk away until Link appears, and, "So you are. I fear that the worst actually could have appeared." "What are you talking about? You're a nightmare. I heard it all from her." "So you're telling me you're a nightmare? Where's the real one?" "He's in the conscious world. If you really want to know much about it, I will tell you later. I just don't want her." This is where he points at an unconscious Akuno, or her unconscious, what's it called, Moriyama Catherine, to know about what exactly a nightmare is. So, yeah. This is where, well, I'll tell you everything. Lincoln, Kyoto, the somewhat adopted cousin of, well, the Kyotos, from mostly my uncle and aunt. "Do you want to know everything?" This is where she says, "Yes." This is where Ichigo wakes up and says, "I also want to know. And that punch you hit me with, they knocked me out. You're gonna fall down unconscious later." This is where, well, Ichigo scoffs and says, "Whatever." This is where, well, mostly Akumu just explained this, but right now makes a darkness barrier around them. This is where he explains everything, from the very beginning to, well, what he exactly is right now. This is where, well, both Ichigo and even what's it called, Lincoln looks saddened. This is where Lincoln looks very pissed and angry at Akuno for not telling her the full fucking story of what Rias has done to her kind of cousin. This is where Ichigo looks saddened, and this is where, well, she kind of goes up to mostly Akumo and tries to hug him. This is where he says, whoa, we are not doing hugs. I am not the true version of him, so do that when he actually appears. Even though he's a pervert, I can respect him for protecting those that he loves. Yeah. Not the point. This is where mostly Ichigo says, is there actually room for him and his harem? What? You said you're building a harem for him. I would like to actually be in his. This is where, well, mostly Lincoln just looks shocked at mostly Ichigo. This is where, well, she knew about Ichigo and she knew that she's quite of a tomboy and does not like dating others. This is where, well, she then say, what? I thought you said you weren't dating. Just where, well, Ichigo says, shut up, Lincoln, leave me alone. This is where Lincoln says, aw, I didn't expect you to fall for my cousin that hard. This is where, well, Ichigo says, shut up before I murder you. This is where, well, Lincoln says, I'm sorry. Were you really going to murder the cousin of the man you're going to really just fall in love with? This is where, well, mostly Ichigo kind of says, don't you have a crush on him for some reason? Even though he's supposedly your family member? Lincoln says, shut up, you bitch. This is where, well, both of them argues, and this is where Aku just says, okay, I'm going home, if you don't mind me. This is where, mostly Lincoln says, wait, can I know where you live? No. This is where, well, Ichigo kind of says, can I know where you live? No, neither. Fuck it. Why are you so secretive? This is where, well, mostly Aku says, because, well, Akumu kind of says, because if that bitch over there, mostly Akuno, or her two other, well, not two other friends, those two others knows where exactly I live, they're going to bother the shit out of me until I show Issei to them, which Issei is still in such a broken state. This is where, well, Ichigo kind of says, I see. Okay, then I won't bother you. I just want to know, do you still go to the school of Kua? I'm right now kind of just said I'm in the depressed state and it's been 3 months. I probably got kicked out already. Who cares at this point? I've been just training in how to learn how to use swords and other things. Which, one problem is, I don't really know how to use a sword. I've been just using instinct. This is where, well, Ichi kind of just like say, I see. You're more like fucking her half the time. But not the point. I can somewhat teach you how to use a sword. At the same time, mostly I think Muramasa would be fine to teach you and how to use a sword. Muramasa, oh, the captain of the, what's it called, Kendo. Yeah, she'd be fine to teach you with. If you don't really mind a female teaching you how to actually use a sword. I don't really care. I don't discriminate. This is where, well, Ichigo kind of says, I see. Well, are you going to, well, back to Kua? No, not entirely. I don't really like going back to Kua. I see. When are you free to go then? Any time, except for the morning trainings with mostly Teijin and then also training with Bang. So pretty much in the afternoon because, yeah. That's where, well, mostly Ichigo kind of says, I see. Well, I ask her later if she would train you. But you're going to have to tell her about who you are exactly. It's where, well, mostly Akumu sighs and says, please don't tell me she's actually another girl that actually likes mostly Issei. And this is where Ichigo kind of says, I don't really know much about her since I just got enrolled into a while here. Lincoln says, don't question me neither. See, we don't know much. Better not be. I'm not trying to explain this again. Other than that, I'll be going then. This is where he releases the barrier, and this is where he walks away. This is where, well, both Ichigo kind of says, so what are you going to do if your cousin comes back and being normal? Or even good looking, more good looking than normal? Or even cuter? This is where, well, Lincoln says, and that's for me to only know and for you to never know. Girl, isn't this like Sweet Home Alabama if you do that? We're cousins. Well, not cousins. I'm an adopted cousin to him. So entirely, we're not fully blood related. But it still looks weird as shit, doesn't it? This is where, well, mostly Lincoln kind of just looks at mostly Ichigo and kind of says, you want to die, Ichigo? Ichigo says, bring it, bitch. This is where, well, we go into mostly a time skip of mostly Akumu getting back to the house. Akumu says, this has been a stressful last day. Annoying me also. Whatever. Well, I guess I can now sleep in my bed. Rainer, get the fuck on my bed. Rainer wakes up and says, yes, sorry. This is where she runs off, but yeah. Stupid bitch. Why the hell is she annoying me? God damn it. He right now, like, lays on the bed and falls asleep, but yeah. But whatever. But we go into someone actually been watching this whole battle. She's actually quite interested in the fact that mostly Akumu is actually a nightmare, but he's not a true nightmare like her. This is where, well, she had like a crown on top of her head. Her both eyes, which are different, mostly one is white, silver and one is gold. Her whitish hair, and that's where she then says, "Interesting. So, he's a nightmare, but not a part of my species entirely. I wonder what type of nightmare you are. Akumu Hyodo? Issei Hyodo? Who really knows? But I want to know if you become my king for the nightmare race." This is where she smiles with such a psychotic grin. But this is where, well, she then disappears in an instant. But other than that, this is actually where I'm going to leave it off for part 3 of this What If. Other than that, bye, singing, yeah, pretty much. Bye.